I'm Joanna Small, the Public Information Officer for the Commerce City Police Department. It's Monday, July 28th, and these are your weekend high or low lights, depending on how you look at them. This is essentially our video blotter where we give you a rundown of the most significant incidents your CCPD patrol officers responded to over the weekend. But we always like to start these off with a few fast facts. We answered 365 calls for service and made 92 traffic stops just on Saturday and Sunday. Now here are those highlights in chronological order. Let's back up to Thursday. That's when officers contacted a man illegally operating an ATV on city streets on 72nd Place near Monaco. It turns out he had a lot more going on than just that, though. The ATV's ignition had been drilled out and the VIN and plates were removed. The rider provided two false names, but we used a mobile fingerprint reader to identify him and learned he had a felony warrant for burglary. He also had a meth pipe on his person. He is now facing charges for obstruction, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving under restraint, meaning without a license, having no insurance, and operating a prohibited vehicle on the street. He was jailed on his warrant. Overnight Thursday into Friday, officers responded to what turned out to be an egregious DUI crash. An SUV crashed into a parked tow truck in the 6000 block of Forest Street, and the driver, who did stay on the scene, was determined to be heavily intoxicated. A breath test revealed his blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit to operate a motor vehicle. The driver was transported to detox but faces charges for DUI, driving without insurance, and careless driving. Overnight Friday into Saturday, officers responded to another DUI crash near the 7600 block of Highway 2. An observant CCPD patrol officer spotted a vehicle that appeared to be on fire driving in this area. The vehicle crashed into a fence and drove off, but left behind its front plate. The officer used the plate to look up the registered owner and went to that address, where he found the vehicle parked with the driver still behind the wheel. There were multiple open alcoholic beverages inside the vehicle as well. The driver was arrested for DUI, careless driving, open container, and hit and run, failure to remain on the scene of an accident. That same shift of officers Saturday responded to the 5900 block of East 64th Avenue for reports that a man was using a cinder block to break out the window of a work van in the parking lot. Officers arrived on scene, and once again, this suspect provided us with a fake name. We again used that mobile fingerprint reader to learn his true identity, and once we did, we also learned he had 5 active warrants for his arrest, to include a felony drug warrant. He is facing a slew of charges, to include first-degree criminal trespass, theft from a vehicle, criminal mischief, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was jailed on his warrants as well. Overnight Saturday, officers at East 72nd and Quebec conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle that was speeding with its trunk open and almost striking multiple curbs. Upon contact, they discovered numerous open alcoholic beverages in the vehicle, and the driver, who was just 17, admitted to being drunk. He was taken into custody for DUI, careless driving, and driving without a license. That same graveyard shift of officers had another DUI stop at East 62nd Avenue and Pontiac Street after a vigilant patrol officer noticed a vehicle driving without headlights illuminated. The driver's breath test revealed his blood alcohol content was 3 times the legal limit to operate a motor vehicle. He was arrested for DUI and will also be cited for driving without insurance. Again, overnight Saturday, officers responded to the 10,300 block of I-76 westbound for an unknown injury crash. When we arrived, we found a vehicle on fire and also unoccupied. Fire personnel responded to the scene and put out the flames. We began searching for possible ejections, but did not locate any victims. The investigation into who was inside the vehicle at the time of the crash is ongoing. And finally, overnight Sunday, officers responded to what turned out to be yet another DUI. They found the driver asleep behind the wheel in the 8800 block of Highway 2. They were able to rouse the driver and take him into custody for DUI and driving without a license. His blood alcohol content was 1.5 times the legal limit to drive. That's all for now. We'll see you next time. Have a safer week, Commerce City. And remember, if you need us, we are always just minutes away.